the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor does he stand in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the Torah of Yahweh, but his delight is in the Torah of Yahweh, and on his ways he meditates day and night. He meditates day and night. He'll be like a tree firmly planted by streams of living water, which yield its seed in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and in all he does he prospers, 'cause his delight is in the Torah of Yahweh, but his delight is in the Torah of Yahweh, and on his ways he meditates day and night. He meditates day and night, that the wicked are not so,
And Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome to the Virtual House Church. Tonight, we will be doing the Numbers Week 41 Torah portion. That will cover Numbers chapter 25, verse 9 through chapter 30, verse 1. And in the prophets, we'll be looking at 1 Kings 18, 46 through 1921, as well as Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 2, verse 3. And in the New Testament, if you're looking on the website, there's a whole bunch of scriptures there, but I've kind of weeded through them a little bit, so they won't be the same. I need to update that on the website. We'll be looking at Matthew 26, 1 through 30, and various portions from the Gospel of John. And unfortunately, I didn't have time to put Acts and 1 Corinthians and Hebrews into the recording. So if we have time, maybe we'll just read them. But anyway, that's what's on the agenda for this evening. But before we begin, I have to say that I found something disturbing. Let me put it that way. Earlier this week, I had been asked by somebody on Facebook if there were any good Torah commentaries out there and stuff, and I had referenced Torah Pearls, which is a ministry that we've used here on the Virtual House Church a number of times before, actually, with Jono Vandor and Keith Johnson and Nehemiah Gordon. And I've found that in the past when we had those guys on, when I rebroadcast some of their teachings, that they were really good. I really enjoyed them. But somebody made me aware of the fact that Jono apparently now rejects that Yeshua is the Messiah. Now, I say that knowing that in a way there are semantics that we're dealing with. You've probably heard me even say it myself, that currently Yeshua, when a Jew hears the word Messiah, he thinks king. And while he is the king of our heart, he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, he is not currently reigning on this earth as such, and will not until the millennial reign of Christ takes place. In fact, when you open up the book of Revelation, throughout most of Revelation, he is regarded as the Lamb. So he's still serving in the capacity of the Lamb until he comes down here and wipes out all his enemies, and then he becomes the Lion of the tribe of Judah, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the lion is only mentioned once, maybe, I think, in the book of Revelation, and lamb is something like 30 times, if I remember right. So I understand that. I understand the idea that he's not currently set himself up as reigning king of this world, as in reigning over kingdoms on this planet, physically, like he will in the millennial reign. So I get that. However, there were a number of teachings and videos and stuff that I saw on Torah. No, it's actually truth2you.org. Truth2you.org is the Jono Vandor's website. And I got to be honest, I couldn't really believe my ears when I was listening to some of the stuff that I was hearing. And it really frustrated me, because I'm thinking, man, there were so many good teachings here, but I can no longer endorse this. And it's fine if you guys want to continue to look at it and listen to their teachings and stuff like that, but I have an increased measure of responsibility, whether I like it or not. I mean, to me, I'm just Joe Blow reading the Bible and making commentary on what I think I believe. But I've reached some measure of popularity around the world as a public speaker and as an author. And so whether I like it or not, people see me as some sort of leader. I don't consider myself that. I tell people all the time, look, I'm a student just like you. But because people do look up to me in some fashion and follow me, the last thing I would ever want to see happen is somebody get led astray because of a perception that I endorsed a teaching such as what I've been seeing from Jono. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to weed through this virtualhousechurch.com website and remove all of the at least the links and visual references to that website. There are teachings that we did last year that are already recorded that that include teachings by Jono and Keith and Nehemiah, and I'm going to leave those there. But I'm probably going to just put a disclaimer somewhere on the website, or maybe at the top of each page or something, just saying that I can't endorse it anymore. And some of the teachings that I saw on the website were also not only rejecting that Yeshua is the Messiah, but also, maybe it's just their style, and I can understand that. But to me, it seemed like they were also mocking the New Testament, and it really didn't sit well with me. So anyway, I'm just letting you guys know that's my personal conviction. Last thing I would ever want to ever be held responsible for is leading somebody astray, and I think that people who don't have the right spiritual maturity or understanding, specifically as we talk about the Torah, can fall into the trap. There is an epidemic, as Dr. Russ Hawk would say, where people will get out of rabbinic Judaism and they'll come up to the top of the straight and narrow path and then slide off into the opposite ditch, into pagan Christianity. I've seen that, Messianic Jews doing Christmas and forgetting the Sabbath and, just doing the same thing Christians do. And on the other side, I've seen people like myself come up out of pagan Christianity and get up on the straight and narrow path, but then many will fall into the trap of rabbinic Judaism, and they'll get to the point where they reject the Apostle Paul. They'll think that he's a heretic, that he fails the Deuteronomy 13 test. I personally think he totally rocked it. I think he is amazing. Paul passed the Deuteronomy 13 test with flying colors, and I've been attempting to do my best to try to show that with various posts on Facebook as well as broadcasts and stuff like that, showing that Paul's the one who gets it, probably more than anybody else, at least in the New Testament anyway. He figured out how it all plays out, how it all comes together, although I think the Apostle John did a really good job of summarizing it in 1 John chapter 2 through 5, which is kind of my go-to place whenever I think that things are getting out of balance and I'm not walking in grace, but am walking under condemnation and forgetting Romans 8:1, where there is therefore now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus. I've got to be reminded of 1 John chapter 2, where he says, I write these things that you sin not. In the next chapter, he defines sin as transgression of the Torah. But 1 John chapter 2 says, but if you do, you've got an advocate, Christ Jesus the righteous. He has you covered. So for me, that's my go-to place, 1 John 2 through 5. But there are people who get a hold of this whole, and I hate the phrase, but I'm just going to say it, Hebrew roots thing. I hate the phrase because as a movement, there are those who have become synonymous with this movement who are very vocal against Yeshua as the Messiah and Paul, thinking Paul's a heretic and that we should tear out 2/3 of our New Testament. And they're into polygamy and all kinds of wild and crazy, stupid stuff. So I distance myself from that. But the fact is we have a Hebrew foundation. Our Bible was written by Hebrews for Hebrews in a Hebrew context, with the exception of a few books like the Gospel of Luke, perhaps, and the book of Acts, written by Luke, who was not a Hebrew. So I get that. But, when we come to the Scriptures with a Hebrew mindset, everything changes. And in my opinion, it makes a whole lot more sense. The whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation is one cohesive story with a unified message of one God, one plan, one bride that he redeemed through Yeshua. But people who don't have a firm spiritual foundation, or who get involved with bad rabbinic leaning teaching, that they'll fall into that trap of that rabbinic Judaism and get into Crazyville. So I distance myself from that. But what we're trying to do here on the Virtual House Church is try to keep it all in perspective, in the 1 John 2 through 5 perspective, in the understanding that Paul had, how it all works. And really, my hope is that these teachings, these broadcasts, these studies will cause you to have that same good heartburn that the guys on the road to Emmaus had when Yeshua opened up, beginning with Moses and the prophets, and revealed how they all spoke of him. Because I don't know about you, most of what I know about Yeshua I got from the Gospels, from the New Testament and the Epistles. But early on, back in, the end of 2009, the beginning of 2010, I began to look at that scripture in Luke 24 and say, you know what, I want to know you that way. Because you know what, if we cannot defend Yeshua with the Torah and the Tanakh, the prophets, the Old Testament, then we've got a big problem. Because even the people in the New Testament, the good Bereans, were searching the scriptures daily to see if these things be true that they had been hearing. What were they searching? They were not searching the New Testament. They were searching the Torah and the prophets and the Psalms. That was the Bible for the guys in the Bible who were writing the New Testament. And being that was their go-to place that they could show from the Torah, the prophets, and the Psalms who Yeshua was, I think we need to be able to do the same thing. So that's my hope with these broadcasts with the Virtual House Church, and also my hope is that you don't become reliant on me. I certainly welcome you here. I invite you to come here every week. I want you to be here. I enjoy the interaction with you. But really, my hope is that you can see what we're doing here and then emulate it. Do it in your own home, with your own family, with your own friends. Because, we're not supposed to forsake the assembling together. And I get it that we are together virtually through the phone lines and through the internet. But there's just something to be said for the human touch, for being able to lay hands on somebody and pray for them, and breaking bread with people in person, and just that personal one-on-one interaction that we can't really capture here on the Virtual House Church. And also, I don't know what this next cycle is going to look like for us after Sukkot. I have some things in the works with Seed. Many of you know I'm working on this TV series that looks very promising. If you'll keep that in your prayer, I have some important meetings lining up. I'm going to be flying out to LA to meet with some pretty heavy hitters that are very interested in the project. And so who knows? I mean, I'm holding this project with my palm out and open. It's not my project. It's Yahweh's project, Yahuwah's project. And I'm asking him to lead me to the people that he wants involved with the project and to protect us from those he doesn't want involved with the project. So right now it looks like he's brought some really interesting people my way, and I've been in contact with them this week, and looks like we've solidified some dates. So if you'll keep that in your prayers, I would appreciate that. And if that comes to fruition, then I'm going to be a very, very, very busy person working on a project that we've been, praying about and working on steadily since, 2009. And this may be it. I don't know. Could be. If it is, we're going to be very busy, and I probably won't be able to do all the radio shows and stuff that I've been doing nowadays. And so my hope is that the time we've been able to spend together has been a time of equipping, and that you will take what you've learned and replicate, multiply, get out there and start your own house church. And we've made the materials available to you. You'll have 2 years worth of complete cycles hopefully done here on the Virtual House Church if you want to use them and reference them and maybe comment on them or whatever. We'll also have the workbooks done. And, we designed those workbooks for the purpose of hopefully making it a user-friendly guide for you to take notes and to have a guide to facilitate your own home study group. Where here on the Virtual House Church, we play audio from the audio Bibles, and then we talk about it. But when you're in your home group setting, you read a chapter, the next person reads a chapter, and then you all talk about it. And I've got 3 simple starter questions there for everybody to look at. I mean, they're very simple. They're the same after each portion, and they were intentionally designed to be that way. So it's not anything too difficult. It's what does this week's Torah portion, how does this week's Torah portion relate to the Haftorah and Brit Hadashah portions? That's just Hebrew for how does the portion that from the 5 books of Moses relate to the portion from the prophets and the portion from the New Testament? How do they relate? Second question, what do you find most interesting about this week's reading? And finally, the third question, what is the general theme of this reading, and how does it apply to our lives today? So 3 very simple, generic questions, but they're designed to get you thinking and hopefully start conversations. So we've done the best we could to provide, hopefully, everything you need to get started on your own. So anyway, that's just a little bit of admin before we get started here. We're excited, looking forward to Sukkot. Sukkot's going to be awesome. I hope you guys have some place to go for Sukkot. If not, what we did in the beginning, like Kevin and Amanda, they just built a little sukkah in their backyard. Sheila and I live in an apartment, so that wasn't really something we could do. But if you've got a yard or something and you have no place to go, well, why not start practicing by making yourself a little sukkah or a tent or something in the backyard and just kind of get used to it. Because this is one of those feasts that we are supposed to mikra or rehearse. And the reason you rehearse it is to get it down and so you can do it right when it happens for real. And in the last few Sukkots that we've done, and even the one we're about to do, we're kind of cheating. We got campsites that have nice facilities and whatnot. And I certainly intend to enjoy that this year, but more and more as I look at the events of the world stage, I'm thinking, you know what, we probably really need to start doing the actual rehearsal deal, get used to being out in the wild, old-style camping, because I think that's could very well happen. We could find ourselves in the wilderness of some sort, having to survive. And so while it is supposed to be, and in fact is commanded to be, a time of fun and excitement, and it should be, I think there's also room for us to really be practicing on being able to live off the grid, so to speak. And there are other places all over the world that people are doing it. So wherever you are, you can probably just do a Google search and see if somebody's doing it in your area and maybe get involved with some other groups. And I would recommend that too, by the way. When we did our Sukkot last year, it was really cool because there are people from literally all over the place came, and it was just fun. I mean, we spent a lot of time with our weekly Shabbat Torah study group that we have our home Bible studies with, and that's great. But we see each other every week, and going into an environment where there are other Torah study groups that we've never met before and interacting with them and sharing with them the insights that we've learned and hearing from them the insights that they've learned, it's just wonderful. I mean, it was a blast. So find a way to get involved in Sukkot this year if you have the ability to do so. If you're new to all this and don't understand how the feasts and all that work, our home study group put together a calendar for you, and that's available on the Virtual House Church website. If you go right to the home page and look on the left-hand menu there, scroll all the way down, you'll see a really pretty calendar. If you click on that, that's a free PDF, and it gives all the feasts for this year, and Kevin and Amanda really did a great job of putting additional information to explain it all, and it was really designed for people who have never done this before, who don't have a clue what to do and want to know. It was designed with you in mind, so you can check that out. Of course, as we get ready to go into next year, they'll be working on another one, and we'll hope to have those every year on the Virtual House Church website at least, so we can have at least an updated calendar on the website for you. So, and then traditionally after you finish Sukkot, you finish up the book of Deuteronomy and you roll the big Torah scroll back and you start back with Genesis 1 right from the beginning and start all over again. And I'm convinced that you could do that every year for the rest of your life and still continue to learn amazing, incredible things every time you do it. Absolutely convinced of that. This is my 4th year. I'll be going into the 5th year, and I know, just in my spirit, I know I've only barely scratched the surface of what can be learned as we continue to dive in and show how it is one totally complete interwoven story. I titled the workbooks by the name of the Torah book, and underneath it I said with related portions from the prophets in the New Testament. It is all related, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Torah was the Bible of the people in the Bible, because everybody in the Bible was referring back to it in some way. That was their Bible, and so that's why we're studying it. That's what we're about here. And let's go ahead and get started, because I've rambled for way too long here. And we'll go ahead and get started with Numbers chapter 25, beginning in verse 9.
Numbers 25.
And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, Behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Israel.
Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head over a people and of a chief house in Midian. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Vex the Midianites, and smite them, for they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake.
Chapter 26. And it came to pass after the plague, that the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying,
Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward, throughout their father's house, all that are able to go to war in Israel.
And Moses and Eleazar the priest spake with them in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying,
Take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt.
Reuben, the eldest son of Israel. The children of Reuben, Hanok, of whom cometh the family of the Hanokites. Of Palu, the family of the Paluites. Of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites. Of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites, and they that were numbered of them were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab. And the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is that Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died. What time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Notwithstanding, the children of Korah died not. The sons of Simeon after their families, of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites. Of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites. Of Jachin, the family of the Jachinites. Of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites. Of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. The children of Gad after their families. Of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites. Of Haggi, the family of the Haggites. Of Shunai, the family of the Shunites. Of Ozni, the family of the Oznites. Of Eri, the family of the Erites. Of Arad, the family of the Aradites. Of Areli, the family of the Arelites. These are the families of the children of Gad, according to those that were numbered of them, 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah after their families were of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites. Of Pharez, the family of the Pharzites. Of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites. And the sons of Pharez were of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites. Of Hamul, the family of the Hamelites. These are the families of Judah, according to those that were numbered of them, 316,500. Of the sons of Issachar after their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolaites, of Puah, the family of the Punites, of Jashub, the family of the Jashubites, of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites. These are the families of Issachar, according to those that were numbered of them, 304,300. Of the sons of Zebulun after their families, of Sirid, the family of the Sardites, of Elon, the family of the Elonites, of Jaleel, the family of the Jaleelites. These are the families of the Zebulunites, according to those that were numbered of them, 3,500. The sons of Joseph after their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. Of the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites. And Machir begat Gilead. Of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead. Of Jeezer, the family of the Jeezerites. Of Helek, the family of the Helekites. And of Asriel, the family of the Asrielites. And of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites. And of Shemida, the family of the Shemidaites. And of Hepher, the family of the Hepherites. And Zelophehad the son of Hepher had no sons but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those that were numbered of them, 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim after their families. Of Shuthelah, the family of the Shuthelahites. Of Becher, the family of the Bachrites. Of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shuthelah. Of Aaron, the family of the Aaronites. These are the families of the sons of Ephraim, according to those that were numbered of them, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph after their families. The sons of Benjamin after their families, of Bela, the family of the Belaites. Of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites. Of Ahiram, the family of the Ahiramites. Of Shupham, the family of the Shuphamites. Of Hupham, the family of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the family of the Ardites. And of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin after their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan after their families. Of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan after their families, all the families of the Shuhamites, according to those that were numbered of them, were 304,400. Of the children of Asher after their families, of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites. Of Jeshui, the family of the Jeshuites. Of Beriah, the family of the Beriaites. Of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites. Of Malchiel, the family of the Malchielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the families of the sons of Asher according to those that were numbered of them, who were 53,400. Of the sons of Naphtali after their families, of Jaziel, the family of the Jazielites. Of Gunai, the family of the Gunites. Of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites. Of Shillem, the family of the Shillemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,400. These were the numbered of the children of Israel, 600,1,730. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to few thou shalt give the less inheritance. To every one shall his inheritance be given, according to those that were numbered of him. Notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot, according to the names of the tribes of their fathers they shall inherit. According to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few.
And these are they that were numbered of the Levites after their families. Of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites. Of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites. Of Merari, the family of the Merarites. These are the families of the Levites. The family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Malites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites. And Kohath begat Amram, and the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt. And she bare unto Amram Aaron and Moses, and Miriam their sister. And unto Aaron was born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died, when they offered strange fire before the Lord. And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males from a month old and upward. For they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given them among the children of Israel. These are they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. But among these was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered, when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them,
They shall surely die in the wilderness.
And there was not left a man of them, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. Chapter 27. Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes and all the congregation by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying,
Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no son. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he hath no son? Give unto us, therefore, a possession among the brethren of our father.
And Moses brought their cause before the Lord, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren. And thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die, and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it.
And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Get thee up into this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. For ye rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, in the strife of the congregation, to sanctify me at the water before their eyes.
That is the water of Meribah, in Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. And Moses spake unto the Lord, saying,
Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep, which have no shepherd.
And the Lord said unto Moses,
Take thee Joshua the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay thine hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before the Lord. At his word shall they go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation.
And Moses did as the Lord commanded him. And he took Joshua, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and he laid his hands upon him, and gave him a charge as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. Chapter 28. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, My offering and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire, for a sweet savor unto me, shall ye observe to offer unto me in their due season. And thou shalt say unto them, This is the offering made by fire, which ye shall offer unto the Lord, 2 lambs of the first year without spot day by day, for a continual burnt offering. The 1 lamb shalt thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, and a 10th part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil. It is a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And the drink offering thereof shall be the 4th part of an hin for the 1 lamb. In the holy place shalt thou cause the strong wine to be poured unto the Lord for a drink offering. And the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, as the meat offering of the morning, and as the drink offering thereof thou shalt offer it, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And on the Sabbath day 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2/10 deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and the drink offering thereof. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And in the beginnings of your months ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot, and 3/10 deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, for 1 bullock, and 2/10 deals of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, for 1 ram, and a several tenth deal of flour mingled with oil for a meat offering unto 1 lamb, for a burnt offering of a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And their drink offering shall be half an hin of wine unto a bullock, and the 1/3 part of an hin unto a ram, and a 1/4 part of an hin unto a lamb. This is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering unto the Lord shall be offered, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And in the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the Lord. And in the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. In the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no manner of servile work therein. But ye shall offer a sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3/10 deals shall ye offer for a bullock, and 2/10 deals for a ram. A several tenth deal shalt thou offer for every lamb throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 goat for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you. Ye shall offer these beside the burnt offering in the morning, which is for a continual burnt offering. After this manner ye shall offer daily, throughout the 7 days, the meat of the sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. It shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And on the 7th day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. Also in the day of the firstfruits, when ye bring a new meat offering unto the Lord, after your weeks be out, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. But ye shall offer the burnt offering for a sweet savor unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year, and their meat offering of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deals unto 1 bullock, 2/10 deals unto 1 ram, a several tenth deal unto 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of the goats, to make an atonement for you. Ye shall offer them beside the continual burnt offering and his meat offering. They shall be unto you without blemish, and their drink offerings.
Chapter 29.
And in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets unto you. And ye shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savor unto the Lord, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deals for a bullock, and 2/10 deals for a ram, and 1/10 deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you, beside the burnt offering of the month, and his meat offering, and the daily burnt offering, and his meat offering, and their drink offerings, according unto their manner for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall have on the 10th day of this 7th month an holy convocation, and ye shall afflict your souls. Ye shall not do any work therein. But ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord for a sweet savor, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish, and their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deals to a bullock, and 2/10 deals to 1 ram, a several tenth deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering of it, and their drink offerings. And on the 15th day of the 7th month ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work, and ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. And ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord, 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year. They shall be without blemish, and their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deals unto every bullock of the 13 bullocks, 2/10 deals to each ram of the 2 rams, and a several tenth deal to each lamb of the 14 lambs, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 2nd day ye shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the 1st year without spot, and their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering thereof, and their drink offerings. And on the 3rd day 11 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the 1st year without blemish, and their meat offering, and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 4th day 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the 1st year without blemish, their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 5th day 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the 1st year without spot, and their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 6th day 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the 1st year without blemish, and their meat offering, and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 7th day 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the 1st year without blemish, and their meat offering, and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. On the 8th day ye shall have a solemn assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord, 1 bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the 1st year without blemish. Their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. These things ye shall do unto the Lord in your set feasts, beside your vows and your freewill offerings, for your burnt offerings, and for your meat offerings, and for your drink offerings, and for your peace offerings.
And Moses told the children of Israel, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. Chapter 30. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying,
This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded.
All right, and that concludes our portion from the Torah. And as I've become accustomed to doing, I'm going to read the commentary from Ardell of yourlivingwaters.com. And as far as I can tell, he hasn't gone off the deep end. But this is my first time reading it, so I'll read it at the same time as you are hearing it for the first time. Here we go. This is the commentary from yourlivingwaters.com on Pinchas, or Phinehas, from Numbers 25:10 through 30, verse 1. At the end of our Torah portion last week, the children of Israel had once more gotten themselves into some trouble. Upon the advice of Balaam, Moabite and Midianite women were successfully enticing the men of Israel. These women were luring them into Baal worship, and Yahuwah was furious. We read how Pinchas, or Phinehas, the grandson of Aaron, responded to an incident of immorality between a son of Israel and a Midianite woman, blatantly being performed in front of the tabernacle. In Numbers 25, beginning in verse 6, it said, And indeed, one of the children of Israel came and presented to his brethren a Midianite woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Now when Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Israel. It is significant that this couple, they were not ordinary citizens from their respective nations. We see in Numbers 25, beginning of verse 14, now the name of the Israelite who was killed with the Midianite woman was Zimri, the son of Selu, a leader of a father's house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. Zimri was a leader of the house of Simeon. His name means my music. Instead of seeking the heavenly harmony of worship and obedience to Yahuwah, Zimri was dancing to his own melody. His father's name was Salu, meaning wade. That reminds me of a verse in Daniel 5:27. You have been weighed in the balances and found deficient. Cosbi was the daughter of a leader in Midian. Her name means my lie, and her father's name means rock. Yeshua is referred to as a rock, but this rock had a daughter who was a lie. She was a false bride and a harlot. How did this happen to Israel? It was the goal of the Midianites to open the floodgates for intermarriage, assimilation, and eventually, to the most destructive of all, the erasing of all boundaries between the holy and the profane, i.e., the elimination of Torah. Israelite men probably succumbed to the beautiful women who invited them to a big barbecue party. We see in Numbers 25, beginning in verse 2. They invited the people of Israel to the sacrifices of their gods, Baal, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. So Israel was joined to Baal of Peor, and the anger of Yahuwah was aroused against Israel. Yahuwah was furious. This was not only idolatry, but Israel is his bride. This was adultery. Cosbi probably had a clear conscience. The worship of Baal included temple prostitution. She must have even considered herself a missionary among a foreign people. The temple prostitution was only for the upper classes and the elite. There is even archaeological evidence of this mixing, as artifacts have been found which are inscribed to Yahuwah and his Asherah, goddess of fertility. I take that back. I think I actually did read this. I think this sounds familiar. Maybe I read this last year. Could be. I have to go back and look at the archives from last year. Anyway, I'll read it again. Because I can. Cosbi and Zimri purposely chose the tent of meeting as the location for their sex act. It was to be a public display of outright rebellion. They were leaders, and they were attempting to teach the Israelites how to be freed from the rituals and the holiness that was a part of the teaching of Moses. In an act of zeal and revenge, Pinchas kills the couple. Is Zimri the Simeonite any less of a zealot for his public display of sex in front of the tabernacle? Rabbi Ari Khan connects this incident between Pinchas, tribe of Levi, and Zimri, tribe of Simeon. Our brothers, instruments of cruelty, are in their dwelling place. Do you remember what this is referring to? Simeon and Levi, sons of Jacob, had a sister named Dinah, who had ventured out of the camp to visit the daughters of the land in Shechem. When the sons of the prince of the land saw her, took her by force. The men of Shechem tried to work out a marriage agreement, but acting as zealots in rage and revenge, Simeon and Levi entered the town and killed all the men. Jacob was angry with his sons and rebuked them for putting their family in a precarious position with the neighboring tribes. This is the brothers' response in Genesis 34, verse 31. But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a harlot?" On his deathbed, Jacob expresses how he feels about his son's actions. In Genesis 49:7, "Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them, Simeon and Levi, in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel." Jacob curses their anger and prophesies that their descendants, Simeon and Levi, will be divided. He points out that when they are together, their rage becomes fierce and dangerous. The sages teach that the conspiracy against Joseph was also spearheaded by Simeon and Levi. Well, over the years, it can be shown that the descendants of Simeon and Levi take different directions in how they handle their zeal. When the Israelites worshipped the golden calf, Moses from Levi cries out, and it is the Levites who respond. In Exodus 32, beginning in verse 26, "Then Moses stood in the entrance of the camp and said, 'Whoever is on Yahuwah's side, come to me.' And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together to him. And he said to them, 'Thus says Yahuwah, Elohim of Israel, let every man put his sword on his side and go in and out from entrance to entrance throughout the camp, and let every man kill his brother, every man his companion, and every man his neighbor.' So the sons of Levi did according to the word of Moses. And about 3,000 men of the people fell that day. Then Moses said, 'Consecrate yourselves today to Yahuwah, that he may bestow on you a blessing this day, for every man has opposed his son and his brother.'" Notice the common elements with the Pinchas episode: idolatry/adultery and the sword, and the blessing for executing their brothers. Once more, this is zeal on the part of Levi. This time, however, it is properly channeled as it is directed by Yahuwah and against those who rebelled. Notice that the tribe of Simeon is silent. History speaks of the same thing hundreds of years later, as it was descendants of Levi, the Maccabees, which we read last week, who led a successful rebellion against the Greek Empire. And boy, I have to tell you what, just reading those first 4 chapters last week, it was pretty powerful. But you really got to go in there and read 1st and 2nd Maccabees. That's some hardcore stuff. Good stuff. It is not as easy to trace the behavior of the descendants of Simeon. We do have some clues, however. The result of the mixing of the Israelites with the daughters of Moab was the death of 24,000 Israelites by the plague. Genesis 26 gives us the current census number of Simeonites, and Numbers 1 gives us the census number from the beginning of the Exodus. In Numbers 26:24, we see these are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. But in Numbers 1:23, they start out with, it says, those who were numbered of the tribe of Simeon were 59,300. So 59,300 beginning census number and 22,200 less ending census number means 37,100 people were decreased in the number of Simeonites. The tribe of Simeon has lost 37,100 people, and it is easy to conclude that perhaps nearly all of the 24,000 who died from the plague were from the tribe of Simeon. That's according to Rashi. And thus, we could also conclude that Zimri was a powerful leader of the Simeonites and personally responsible for their deaths, as he led them in rebellion against Moses and Yahuwah. Therefore, we can make the conclusion that after the prophecy of Jacob over his tribes of Levi and Simeon proceed in opposite directions with their choices on how to handle zeal. So, what made the behavior of Pinchas, the zealot, appropriate and deserving of being blessed? First, who was Pinchas? Pinchas was the son of Eleazar, the grandson of Aaron. We see in 1 Chronicles 9:17. These were the gatekeepers belonging to the camp of the Levites. In earlier times, Pinchas, son of Eleazar, was in charge of the gatekeepers, and Yahuwah was with him. Pinchas was in a position of authority as chief over the sanctuary guards. He would have been armed, and it would have been his job to act as protector of the holiness of Yahuwah. When Pinchas speared the couple, his zealous behavior was channeled in single-minded dedication to the Almighty. In fact, Pinchas is rewarded for his behavior with the same blessing that Abraham, the father of our faith, received in Genesis 15:6, where it says, "And he, Abraham, believed Yahuwah, and he accounted it to him for righteousness." We see in Psalm 106, beginning of verse 28, "They, Israelites, joined themselves also to Baal Peor, and ate sacrifices made to the dead. Thus they provoked him to anger with their deeds, and the plague broke out among them. Then Pinchas stood up and intervened, and the plague was stopped. And that was accounted to him for righteousness to all generations forevermore." So you got David quoting him. I mean, he was a real hero, because Judas Maccabees, and actually his father, quotes this story as his inspiration for the zeal to do what they did regarding the what the Romans had done with the abomination of desolation under Antiochus Epiphanes. On the other hand, Zimri's zealous behavior had to be stopped. His energy was not dedicated to the Almighty. In fact, he had his own personal agenda. 2 tribes, 2 directions. One moved toward the Father, one moved toward self. One tribe's zeal merited blessing and honor, one tribe disappeared from the radar. In Deuteronomy, Moses gives his final blessing to the tribes. Levi receives a beautiful blessing. In Deuteronomy 33:8, it says, "And of Levi he said, Your Thummim and thy Urim are for your pious one." Simeon receives no blessing whatsoever. No mention of his name, only silence. It is so sad. Yet we serve an Elohim of restoration. Let's see if we can find the resurfacing of Simeon. Simeon's inheritance was within the midst of Judah, and it seems that you find them under Judah's wings off and on throughout the Hebrew Scriptures. Perhaps you also remember that there was a man named Simeon who was there in the temple in Jerusalem when Miriam, Mary, and Joseph, went there on the 8th day for Yeshua's circumcision. Moved by the Spirit, it says that Simeon took the baby Yeshua in his arms and praised Yah. We see in Luke 2, beginning of verse 29, "Adonai, now you are letting your servant depart in peace, according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation, Yeshua, which you have prepared before the face of all peoples, a light to bring revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people, Israel." Remember, it was Pinchas of the tribe of Levi who had been given the covenant of peace. Now Simeon, most likely from the tribe of Simeon, praises Yah for allowing him to depart in peace, the peace that was so elusive to the tribe of Simeon. He discovered that peace was to be found in the baby Yeshua. But there's more. Simeon also had words for Miriam, or Mary, in Luke 2, beginning of verse 34. "Behold, this child is destined for the fall and rising of many in Israel, and for a sign which will be spoken against. Yes, a sword will pierce through your own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed." I imagine that this is one of those times when Miriam meditated on these words. A sword will pierce through your own soul. This could have many levels of meaning. Being a witness of all that Yeshua would endure would pierce the soul of any mother. But what else could the sword piercing the soul represent? Hebrews puts it like this. In Hebrews 4, beginning of verse 12, "For the word of Yah is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." Yes, the sword will pierce the souls of each of us, as it is the discerner of our hearts. In our story in Numbers, the sword killed as a result of blatant rebellion and idolatry. But the sword will touch us all, and Simeon knew that. I think the man Simeon in Luke represents the restored tribe of Simeon, the tribe. That's pretty cool. The final restoration of the tribe is seen in Revelation as Simeon once again stands side by side with Levi. We see in Revelation 7:4. "And I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel were sealed. Of the tribe of Simeon, 12,000 were sealed. And of the tribe of Levi, 12,000 were sealed. See, it's interesting when you see how the tribes are listed in many times throughout the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament, and in the order in which they are listed, and who's missing from some of them. It's like, in addition to the meaning of their names, and we've talked about that in previous broadcasts, that each of these people, the Hebrew meaning of their names often spells out a story for us whenever they're listed. And they're listed in different orders, so the story changes, and sometimes some are included and some are not. So that, of course, changes the story as well. So it is very, very noteworthy. I mean, it's something, whenever you see, especially the tribes of Israel being, all of them being listed, pay attention to how they're listed and who is or is not included in that list. Pretty cool stuff. Now let's zero in a bit more on zeal. In Numbers 25:11, it says, Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was zealous with my zeal among them, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my zeal. Zeal is repeated 3 times in this verse. Check your translation. It may say that Pinchas was jealous for my sake. It is much more literal to translate zealous with my zeal. Pinchas was displaying an attribute of the Almighty. Because Pinchas was zealous with his zeal, Yahuwah did not consume the children of Israel in his zeal. Strong's Concordance defines zeal as kauna, meaning to envy, be jealous, be envious, be zealous. Its usage in the King James is zealous 10 times, envy 9 times, jealous 5 times, envious 4 times, zealous twice, very twice, and zeal once. Semicolon 33, I'm not sure how you read that. Zeal can be shown to be negative or positive depending on motive and loyalties. Let's analyze its usage. Zeal, also translated as jealousy or envy, used from a negative perspective associated with hostility and disruptive passions. Envy for another's property or position in Numbers 37:11, and his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in mind. That's Genesis 37:11. At Genesis 31, now when Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said to Jacob, "Give me children or else I die." Appropriate zeal, also expressing love for one's own property, often translated as jealousy. In Exodus 20, verse 5, "You shall not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the 3rd and 4th generations of those who hate me." Joel 2:18, "Then Yahuwah will be zealous for his land and pity his people." The intimate meaning of the word relates to the marriage relationship, because by marriage two become one flesh. Adultery was a severing of the unified body, a form of murder. Adultery, like murder, was thereby punishable by death. In Genesis 5:30, or when the spirit of jealousy comes upon a man, and he becomes jealous of his wife, then he shall stand the woman before Yahuwah, and the priest shall execute all this law upon her. Yahuwah is depicted as Israel's husband. Pinchas displayed the zeal of the faithful lover, Yahuwah, by killing a man and his foreign wife. This couple represented the unfaithful bride, consequently stopping the wrath of the Almighty. In 2 Corinthians 11:2, it says, "For I am jealous for you with godly jealousy, for I have betrothed you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Messiah." Prophetic warnings against spiritual adultery were ignored, thus the people received justice. Ezekiel 16:38, "And I will judge you as women who break wedlock or shed blood are judged. I will bring blood upon you in fury and jealousy." The New Covenant scriptures also have verses on zeal. Here is the word defined in Greek. Zelos, meaning 1, excitement of mind, ardor, fervor of spirit. 1a, zeal, ardor in embracing, pursuing, defending anything. 1a1, zeal in behalf of, for a person or thing. 1a2, the fierceness of indignation, punitive zeal. 1b, an envious and contentious rivalry, jealousy. Like Pinchas, Yeshua also had zeal for his father's house. We see in John 2, beginning of verse 13, now the Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem, and he found in the temple those who sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the money changers doing business. When he had made a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overturned the tables. And he said to those who sold doves, take these things away. Do not make my Father's house a house of merchandise. Then his disciples remembered that it was written, zeal for your house has eaten me up. Zeal must be coupled with knowledge. In Romans 10:2, for I bear them witness that they have a zeal for Yah, but not according to knowledge. If after knowledge there is not repentance, zeal brings about destruction. We see in Hebrews 10:26, for if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful expectation of judgment and fiery indignation which will devour the adversaries. Positive zealousness brings about repentance. Revelation 3:19, as many as I love I rebuke and chasten, therefore be zealous and repent. Pinchas' zeal to the covenant of peace, or led to the covenant of peace. Let's take another look at the entire scenario. Numbers 25, beginning of verse 7. Now when Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Israel, and those who died in the plague were 24,000. Then Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was zealous with my zeal among them, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my zeal. Therefore say, behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and his descendants after him a covenant for an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his Elohim and made atonement for the children of Israel. What is the covenant of peace? We know who the Prince of Peace is. We see in Isaiah 9, beginning verse 6, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be revealed, Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty Elohim, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end, upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to order it and establish it, with judgment and justice from that time forward, even forever. The zeal of Yahuwah of hosts will perform this. And we are told who will have peace. In Psalm 119, 165, great peace have those who love your Torah, and nothing causes them to stumble. Psalm 37:37, mark the blameless man, and behold the upright, for the future of that man will be peace. We are told to proclaim the good news of peace, and it is about Yeshua. Isaiah 52:7, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who proclaims peace, who brings glad tidings of good things, who proclaims salvation, Yeshua, who says to Zion, your Elohim reigns. Acts 10:36, the word which Yah sent to the children of Israel, preaching peace through the Messiah, Yeshua. He is Adonai of all. Still, the words of Yeshua can be confusing. We see in Matthew 10:34, do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Did Pinchas' action give us a picture of what Yeshua meant? Pinchas' zeal in the form of what appears to be violence, is rewarded with the covenant of peace. Yahuwah's zeal will also trigger violence, but the end result will be the regathering of the nations, that they might live in peace. Zephaniah 3:8 says, "Therefore wait for me, says Yahuwah, until the day I rise up for plunder. My determination is to gather the nations to my assembly of kingdoms, to pour on them my indignation, all my fierce anger. All the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." The regathering of the whole house of Israel and the resulting covenant of peace is laid out for us beautifully in the two-stick prophecy of Ezekiel 37. It is a little long, but friends, this is our future. So take the time to read it and praise the Almighty for His plan. And note that Ardell says this is our future. It is not the past, 66 years ago in 1948. The usual go-to place for justification of 1948, of course, is Isaiah 66:8. Can a nation be born in a day? Yeah, they say, May 14th, 1948. And they'll say that was the beginning of the dry bones coming together and all of that. And they'll quote Ezekiel. Well, after I went through and read it for myself, I just can't see how it was fulfilled in 1948. I do see it coming in the future, though. So let's see what Ardell has to say. He quotes Ezekiel 37, beginning in verse 15. "Again the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, As for you, son of man, take a stick for yourself and write on it for Judah and for the house of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write on it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Then join them one to another for yourself into one stick, and they will become one in your hand. And when the children of the people speak to you, saying, Will you not show us what you mean by these? Say to them, Thus says Adonai Yahuwah, Surely I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his companions, and I will join them with it, with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they will be one in my hand. And the sticks on which you write will be in your hand before their eyes. Then say to them, Thus says Adonai Yahuwah, Surely I will take the children of Israel from among the nations, wherever they have gone. I will take, Yahuwah will do it, and will gather them from every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land, on the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king over them all. They shall no longer be two nations, nor shall they ever be divided into two kingdoms again. They shall not defile themselves any more with their idols, nor their detestable things like Nimrod phallic symbols all over the nation, and all-seeing eye pyramids and Illuminati Freemasonry type stuff, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will deliver them from all their dwelling places in which they have sinned, and will cleanse them. Then they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. David, my servant, shall be king over them. Oh, you mean it's not going to be Netanyahu? And they shall all have one shepherd, and they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Oh, you mean they're not going to be one great big secular nation? Then they shall dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob my servant, where their fathers dwelt, and they shall dwell there, they, their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Not prime ministers? Imagine that. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. You mean they're not going to have constant warfare since 1948? And it shall be an everlasting covenant with them. I will establish them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary in their midst forever. You mean it's not going to be the Knesset? The Illuminati Supreme Court? Or the Hebrew University with the statue of Nimrod out front? Wow! My tabernacle also shall be with them. Indeed, I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. The nations also will know that I, Yahuwah, sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary is in their midst forever. I'm not sure what people think of that was fulfilled in 1948. Just doesn't seem to fit my mind anyway. Peace. That's an interesting word too, because everybody quotes Isaiah 66:8, which is entirely in a millennial reign context if you read the previous chapter. post-tribulation, not pre-tribulation. Everybody quotes Isaiah 66:8, but verse 12, 4 verses later, says, peace will flow from that Israel, the one that's established in a day, like a river. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen a whole lot of peace over there. I don't think Isaiah 66:8 has taken place yet, nor has Ezekiel 37, nor Jeremiah 23, Jeremiah 30, Jeremiah 31, but I digress. Peace seems to be a buzzword in the land of Israel today. You hear of the land for peace, prisoners for peace, peace deals. What are they after? You see, peace is much more than the absence of war. Peace, or shalom, is a wholeness, completeness, and a fullness. Being totally filled with zeal for Yahuwah and serving him through Yeshua, no matter the cost, this is what makes a person whole. We see this concept pictured through the Hebrew letter Vav in the Torah scrolls. Here is Numbers 25:12. Therefore, say, behold, I give to him my covenant of peace. The word shalom is written like this normally, and Ardell has the spelling in Hebrew. However, in the Hebrew Torah scrolls, this is the only time in the scriptures that the Vav in this word is broken, and the letter appears like this, and it shows a Vav that looks like it's been kind of chopped in half. The numerical equivalent of the Vav is 6. 6 is the biblical number of man, who was created on the 6th day. Man will spend 6 millenniums on earth before the return of Messiah. Yeshua, the Son of Man, was broken for us that we might have peace. Also, each of us must be broken. This is what brings us to wholeness, shalom. When this is completed, we will be sanctified, and he will be in our midst forever. Baruch Hashem. And Ardell concludes with Revelation 21, beginning of verse 1. Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Also there was no more sea. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from Yah, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yah is with men. When does that happen? Not 1948. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. Yah himself will be with them and be their Elohim. In a post-tribulation millennial kingdom context, as Isaiah 65 says. So, oh boy, I rambled and babbled for a long time here, it looks like. So, wow, we got like 30 minutes left, and, well, it looks like we got about that much left of the prophets portion and the New Testament. So, well, I might as well go ahead and play that, huh? Here's the portion from the prophets.
1 Kings 18. And the hand of the Lord was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. Chapter 19. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying,
So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time.
And when he saw that, he arose, and went for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said,
It is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers.
And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him, and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baken on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came again the second time, and touched him, and said,
Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee.
And he arose, and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of God. And he came thither unto a cave, and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, and he said unto him,
What doest thou here, Elijah?
And he said,
I have been very jealous with the Lord God of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away.
And he said,
Go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord.
And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains, and brake in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire a still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle, and went out, and stood in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him, and said,
What doest thou here, Elijah?
And he said,
I have been very jealous for the Lord God of hosts, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away.
And the Lord said unto him,
Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shalt thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha, the son of Shaphat of Abel-Meholah, shalt thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. And it shall come to pass, that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and him that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which hath not kissed him.
So he departed thence, and found Elisha the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he with the 12. And Elijah passed by him, and cast his mantle upon him. And he left the oxen, and ran after Elijah, and said,
Let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee.
And he said unto him,
Go back again, for what have I done to thee?
And he returned back from him, and took a yoke of oxen, and slew them, and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen, and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he arose and went after Elijah, and ministered unto him.
The book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1. The words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anathoth, in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of the Lord came in the days of Josiah, the son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. It came also in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem, captive in the 5th month. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Ah, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, Say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out, and to pull down, and to destroy, and to throw down, to build, and to plant. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then said the Lord unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. Then the Lord said unto me, Out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, saith the Lord, and they shall come, and they shall set every one his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem, and against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Judah. And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other gods, and worshipped the works of their own hands. Thou therefore gird up thy loins, and arise, and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. For behold, I have made thee this day a defenced city, and an iron pillar, and brassen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to deliver thee. Chapter 2. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend, evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord.
And that's the end of the prophet's portion, and now here's the incomplete portion from the New Testament. I didn't get through all of it, but here's a fair amount of it that goes along with this week's Torah portion.
Matthew 26.
And it came to pass, when Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples,
Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and consulted that they might take Jesus by subtlety and kill him. But they said,
Not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people.
Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying,
To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much, and given to the poor.
When Jesus understood it, he said unto them,
Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her.
Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests, and said unto them,
What will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you?
And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver, and from that time he sought opportunity to betray him. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him,
Where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
And he said,
Go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, The Master saith, My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples.
And the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12, and as they did eat, he said,
Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him,
Lord, is it I?
And he answered and said,
He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said,
Master, is it I?
He said unto him,
Thou hast said.
And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said,
Take, eat, this is my body.
And he took the cup, and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying,
Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
And when they had sung an hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. Then saith Jesus unto them,
All ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee.
Peter answered and said unto him,
Though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended.
Jesus said unto him,
Verily I say unto thee, that this night, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.
Peter said unto him,
Though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee.
Likewise also said all the disciples. Then cometh Jesus with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples,
Sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder.
And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them,
My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch with me.
And he went a little farther, and fell on his face, and prayed.
Mark 14. Chapter 14. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover, and of unleavened bread. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft, and put him to death. But they said,
Not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people.
And being in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious. And she brake the box, and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves, and said,
Why was this waste of the ointment made?
For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence, and have been given to the poor.
And they murmured against her. And Jesus said,
Let her alone, why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For ye have the poor with you always. And whensoever ye will, ye may do them good. But me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She is come aforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she hath done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her.
And Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went unto the chief priests to betray him unto them. And when they heard it, they were glad, and promised to give him money. And he sought how he might conveniently betray him. And the first day of unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover, his disciples said unto him,
Where wilt thou that we go, and prepare that thou mayest eat the Passover?
And he sendeth forth 2 of his disciples, and saith unto them,
Go ye into the city, and there shall meet you a man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him. And wheresoever he shall go in, say ye to the good man of the house, The master saith, Where is the guest chamber where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he will show you a large upper room, furnished and prepared. There make ready for us.
And his disciples went forth, and came into the city, and found as he had said unto them. And they made ready the Passover. And in the evening he cometh with the 12. And as they sat and did eat, Jesus said,
Verily I say unto you, one of you which eateth with me shall betray me.
And they began to be sorrowful, to say unto him, one by one, Is it I? And another said, Is it I? And he answered and said unto them,
It is one of the 12 that dippeth with me in the dish. The Son of Man indeed goeth as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Good were it for that man if he had never been born.
And as they did eat, Jesus took bread, and blessed, and brake it, and gave to them, and said, Take, eat.
This is my body.
And he took the cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it. And he said unto them,
This is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many. Verily I say unto you, I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine, until that day that I drink it new in the kingdom of God.
And when they had sung an hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives.
John 2.
And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves,
Take these things hence,
Make not my Father's house an house of merchandise.
And his disciples remembered that it was written, The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. Then answered the Jews and said unto him,
What sign shewest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things?
Jesus answered and said unto them,
Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.
Then said the Jews,
46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days?
But he spake of the temple of his body. When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this unto them, and they believed the scripture, and the word which Jesus had said. Now, when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover, in the feast day, many believed in his name when they saw the miracles which he did. But Jesus did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men, and needed not that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man. Chapter 7. After these things Jesus walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him,
Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world.
For neither did his brethren believe in him. Then Jesus said unto them,
My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come.
When he had said these words unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he also up unto the feast, not openly, but as it were, in secret. Then the Jews sought him at the feast, and said,
Where is he?
And there was much murmuring among the people concerning him. For some said,
He is a good man.
Others said,
Nay, but he deceiveth the people.
Howbeit, no man spake openly of him for fear of the Jews. Now, about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying,
How knoweth this man letters, having never learned?
Jesus answered them and said,
My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God, or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Did not Moses give you the law, and yet none of you keepeth the law? Why go ye about to kill me?
The people answered and said,
Thou hast a devil. Who goeth about to kill thee?
Jesus answered and said unto them,
I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
Then said some of them of Jerusalem,
Is not this he whom they seek to kill? But lo, he speaketh boldly, and they say nothing unto him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is the very Christ? Howbeit we know this man whence he is, but when Christ cometh, no man knoweth whence he is.
Then cried Jesus in the temple as he taught, saying,
Ye both know me, and ye know whence I am. And I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he hath sent me.
Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. And many of the people believed on him and said,
When Christ cometh, will he do more miracles than these which this man hath done?
The Pharisees heard that the people murmured such things concerning him. And the Pharisees and the chief priests sent officers to take him. Then said Jesus unto them,
Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come.
Then said the Jews among themselves,
Whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles? What manner of saying is this that he said, ye shall seek me, and shall not find me. And where I am, thither ye cannot come.
In the last day, that great day of the feast, Jesus stood and cried, saying,
If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the Scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
But this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive. For the Holy Ghost was not yet given, because that Jesus was not yet glorified. Chapter 11. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council, and said,
What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and the nation.
And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them,
Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not.
And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation, and not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth they took counsel together for to put him to death. Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto a country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. And the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand, and many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. Then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves as they stood in the temple,
What think ye, that he will not come to the feast?
Now both the chief priests and the Pharisees had given a commandment, that if any man knew where he were, he should show it, that they might take him. Chapter 12. Then Jesus, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. Chapter 13. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from God and went to God, he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. After that he poureth water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him,
Lord, dost thou wash my feet?
Jesus answered and said unto him,
What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter.
Peter saith unto him,
Thou shalt never wash my feet.
Jesus answered him,
If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me.
Simon Peter saith unto him,
Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head.
Jesus saith to him,
He that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all.
For he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he,
Ye are not all clean.
So after he had washed their feet, and had taken his garments, and was set down again, he said unto them,
Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me Master and Lord, and ye say, Well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. I speak not of you all. I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture may be fulfilled, He that eateth bread with me hath lifted up his heel against me. Now I tell you before it come, that when it is come to pass, ye may believe that I am he.
Chapter 18. When Jesus had spoken these words, he went forth with his disciples over the brook Cedron, where was a garden, into the which he entered, and his disciples. And Judas also, which betrayed him,
knew the place, for Jesus oft times resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. Jesus therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, Whom seek ye? They answered him,
Jesus of Nazareth.
Jesus saith unto them,
I am he.
And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground. Then asked he them again,
Whom seek ye?
And they said,
Jesus of Nazareth.
Jesus answered,
I have told you that I am he. If therefore ye seek me, let these go their way.
That the saying might be fulfilled, which he spake,
Of them which thou gavest me, have I lost none.
Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it, and smote the high priest's servant, and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. Then said Jesus unto Peter,
Put up thy sword into the sheath. The cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it?
Then the band and the captain and officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him, and led him away to Annas first, for he was father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest that same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews, that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door without. Then went out that other disciple which was known unto the high priest, and spake unto her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Peter,
Art not thou also one of this man's disciples?
He saith,
I am not.
And the servants and officers stood there, who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves. And Peter stood with them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus of his disciples and of his doctrine. Jesus answered him,
I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple whither the Jews always resort. And in secret have I said nothing. Why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me what I have said unto them. Behold, they know what I said.
And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Jesus with the palm of his hand, saying,
Answerest thou the high priest so?
Jesus answered him,
If I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil. But if well, why smitest thou me?
Now Annas had sent him bound into Caiaphas the high priest, and Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him,
Art not thou also one of his disciples?
He denied it, and said,
I am not.
One of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, saith,
Did not I see thee in the garden with him?
Peter then denied again, and immediately the cock crew. Then led they Jesus from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment, and it was early. And they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. Pilate then went out unto them and said,
What accusation bring ye against this man?
They answered and said unto him,
If he were not a malefactor, we would not have delivered him up unto thee.
Then said Pilate unto them,
Take ye him, and judge him according to your law.
The Jews therefore said unto him,
It is not lawful for us to put any man to death.
That the saying of Jesus might be fulfilled, which he spake, signifying what death he should die. Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again, and called Jesus, and said unto him,
Art thou the king of the Jews?
Jesus answered him,
Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me?
Pilate answered,
Am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done?
Jesus answered,
My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence.
Pilate therefore said unto him,
Art thou a king then?
Jesus answered,
Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Every one that is of the truth heareth my voice.
Pilate saith unto him,
What is truth?
He went out again unto the Jews, and saith unto them,
I find in him no fault at all. But ye have a custom that I should release unto you one at the Passover. Will ye therefore that I release unto you the King of the Jews?
Then cried they all again, saying,
Not this man, but Barabbas.
Now Barabbas was a robber. Chapter 19. Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him. And the soldiers platted a crown of thorns and put it on his head. And they put on him a purple robe, and said,
Hail, King of the Jews!
And they smote him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again, and saith unto them,
Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him.
And that's as far as I was able to get in recording the audio from the New Testament portion. And boy, well, we only got just about 5 minutes left. So I'll tell you what, I'm tired. I got up early this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and take a rest on this Shabbat and call it quits for this evening. And so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this evening's Bible study, and we will see you back here next week on the Revolutionary Radio Project. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good night. Have a great weekend.
יברכך יחוה וישמרך יאר יחוה פניו לך וחונקה יישא יחוה פניו לך לך שלום יישא יחוה פניו לך ויעשה לך שלום ויעשה לך שלום ויעשה לך שלום. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Yahuwah te bendiga y te guarde. Yahuwah haga resplandecer su rostro en ti y tenga